Hello, Anna.
We are in IT Radio, and today we have a program with Yann Kronberg. Yann Kronberg is one of the speakers in ITIM 2018, and he will be speaking about success for foreign investment attraction by outsourced service companies, right?
That's correct.
So, the first question is that, how are your impressions about the event?
I think the event, over the years has really gotten better and better. More people, more diversification in terms of who's speaking, and I think we've seen the evolution of this event getting better. Also, with just more quality and just different topic that is interesting to everybody.
Wow, that's great. So this is not the first time you're here, right?
That's not the first time. That's my third time, actually.
Third time.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking about your topic, could you just give us a few samples, few sentences, what you will be talking about?
Yeah, I mean, this is all about what we can do, with Ukraine talent. And is being an outsourcing today good enough to have a viable business? Why is it attractive to different type of stakeholder, like big companies, Fortune 500, entrepreneurs, and also why do people come here, in Ukraine and looking for talent?
So speaking about the tendencies that we have for the moment, and companies in Ukraine tend to come more from outsourcing model to some product model. This is what they want to be. So what do you think? Is it can it be successful?
It can.
In how many years?
Well, it's not a year thing. It's more like a combination of factors. I think the critical element first is talent, so the talent is there. I think the second element is entrepreneurship, and I think we're starting to see a lot of company like GitLab and some other company that are essentially started by Ukrainian. But the critical element that may not be there yet is every of these companies that are essentially doing a parallel strategy between engineering, product development, and startup. They also need a bridge to the Western world, and without that, it's hard to be successful. If you look at Grammarly or all these companies, they all moved to the Bay Area, to the United States, or to other places than Ukraine to flourish. And I think you need these three components. You need good engineering, you need good product, but also you need to essentially get the capital and the market elsewhere.
So coming back to the outsourcing topic, so how to attract investments from the foreign companies for the employees working from Ukraine. So what do you think, what is the main criteria that the foreign companies pay attention to while outsourcing?
Talent, and it's already there. I mean, I think if you see a big company like Cyclum have attracted outside investment, but I think for real growth and for companies that are a little bit smaller, less than 500 engineers, I mean, the real market is entrepreneurs that want to build their first product, and Ukraine is a fantastic market for that. And I think the second thing is, which is the third rail that I was talking about, is developing the entrepreneur and in the Ukrainian market and make them move abroad and sell their products. And I think that's still a long way to go, but it's coming. It's happening.
Speaking about Ukraine, this is not the only market for the outsource, yeah? So what are the competitive markets?
It's not the only market, but I've done before I created Zazmic, like I've done 20 years of outsourcing in pretty much every country you can imagine. Ukrainian are basically, for me, the best talent. Also,
so nice to hear.
Culture-wise, I think they're also better at working with market like Anglo-Saxon market like the US and England, and they're just the best cultural fit and talent fit, I think. That doesn't mean that you cannot get less expensive or you cannot get a good team somewhere else or a good talent somewhere else. But for me, there's no better than Ukraine.
Speaking about salaries and talent, salaries and talent, like in case the talent is better, so the salaries should be also like higher.
Yeah.
Is there any tendency like this in Ukraine? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you look at the market, like we're a global market now. Certain technology attract more demand and more talent, and there's no question that whether you're from Ukraine or from the US, you're better paid when you have better talent. And I think we've seen a tendency also to have a lot of engineers making pretty good money, in Ukraine.
Speaking about making good money, everybody wants to make good money, even more, even better money. But personally, like you, where do you spend this money? What do you spend it for?
We actually reinvest everything in the company, and we are ourselves an incubator. Last year we launched 6 startups, and 2 of them have raised considerable amount of money on Series A. We don't see ourselves as outsource. We see ourselves as startup makers, and this is what we do in Ukraine. I mean, we basically enjoy the talent in Ukraine to develop companies that are really successful, and that's a long-term model. We build also our own product that we're launching. We have a competitive product with Atlassian, and we intend to kill that market based on Ukrainian talent. And I think the money that we are spending are essentially in making our own product and investing in companies that are based on Ukrainian engineering.
And speaking about this, is there your personal goal in this, and what is your personal goal in this?
Our goal...
You speak about the company, but you personally, what is your personal goal in all of this?
My personal goal is to create as many companies as possible and to create as many jobs as possible in Ukraine.
When you were a child, what did you dream about?
To live in San Francisco.
In case you were a child and you would imagine, you would see that you are who you are now, do you think you would be happy?
I would be happy, but I would have probably chosen to do the things I'm doing now 10 years ago. That's all.
So what are your plans for the nearest 5 years?
We intend to have 6,000 people in Ukraine that work for Zazmic. That's our goal. And we want to launch 5 or 6 startups a year, in the US, using our talent pool.
Okay, great. And do you plan on spreading the company to other countries? To create a really multicultural company.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So yes, we already have started. I've started that, but it's more because we're getting so big now that we need coverage in the US, and so South America, even though the talent is not the same and the cultural fit is not the same, is an area that we've been looking into in order to cover the US hours. And that's just becoming more and more important now. So yes, But the hardcore engineering right now, we haven't. We're probably not going to change our strategy to build it here.
You said you were dreaming about living in San Francisco. Why San Francisco?
I live over there, so.
So why did you dream?
Because no matter how you look at entrepreneurship and where you're from, everything happens there. Google is there, Facebook's there, all like the weather is there, like the beauty of the state of California is there. It's just a place that is magical in terms of like having a good life.
Mm-hmm. In case all of them would move to Bali, for instance,
I'd
would
go
you
to
move
Bali.
with them?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
This is not like if someday California is not the place where everything happens, then I'll go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Ukraine, I'll go to Ukraine.
Do you know any words in Ukrainian?
Yeah. No, actually, I know in Russian, but not Ukrainian.
Like, speaking about like a multicultural company, probably you have faced some difficulties because of the mentality. You were impressed with some good qualities and talent, but probably you were upset about some not very good features, like maybe stubborn or something else. So have you faced like some bad features that probably some of the audience would hear and find it in themselves, and probably they would work on that? That's
no, I think the main hurdle for a Ukrainian engineer is cultural fit, right? I mean,
cultural fit.
Yeah, for instance, like the Anglo-Saxon world is really positive. When you have something that doesn't go well, you stay really positive and you're trying to fix it.
That is good.
The European way of life is a little bit more critical and negative, and so that is important to adapt to the American style. So I think that within Zazmic, we work very hard at teaching people English and good English. We give free classes, and then we also train people to work with that mentality, that positive mentality, and we catch them when they don't. So hopefully everybody will do the same way in the company.
I've heard from some company owners from the West that our people sometimes are aggressive in some moments. Have you faced it?
Well, I mean, in America, everybody that is not outside of America is aggressive. But it's true that we're more direct in Europe, and like I'm French, so I know a little bit things about that. But we're more direct, and yes, I mean you have to adapt to a culture that is a little bit less aggressive in America. So I think it's more about them than about Europe. They're just less direct, and they have a code when they speak about issues and problems and how they're to resolve them. And it's just about us to learn it and to adapt to them. And I think we're doing that in Zazmic. So.
What moment or fact or event inspires you the most in your work?
Oh boy. Well, I mean, it's not a specific moment, but it's rather the thing that we've accomplished over the last 5 years. We were 5 years ago, now we're 230, and we have no sales, so people come to us. And we've launched a total of almost 10 companies in 5 years. Most of them are super successful. We own part of it, and just seeing us being able to make these companies successful, but also guaranteeing good jobs to our guys, to our team in Zazmic, is something that is very satisfactory. So I love that.
According to you, what makes you successful apart from talented people and good technical?
I think at least at the level of the company, at the level of Zazmic, the combination of being in the Silicon Valley and relying on top-notch Ukrainian engineering team is just very very interesting to a lot of company out there.
I mean, in the management of your company.
Taking risk. I mean, I think essentially we're not an offshore company. We are a product and essentially an incubator. So I think we sell offshore services, but sometimes it's with zero margin. Sometimes we just pay for it. So we take a lot of risk, calculated risk indeed, but it's just a different mentality. We're not here to build a client hourly. We're here to create companies.
And before creating Zazmic companies, have you failed before?
How many times? So many times. I failed so many times that I cannot count them.
And what did you think about? Like, oh, failed. Oh my God, no, I never, ever will begin it again. When you tried to launch the new company again, new project, what were your thoughts? Okay, this time it would be absolutely different, or what?
Well, that's the American way, right? I mean, that's if we can learn something from this country, is like no matter how hard you fail, you just try again. What are the alternatives? If you can look at yourself as a failure and do nothing, or you can just keep at it. I mean, for one or two failure, one client that doesn't pay, we have 7 companies that are raising now $multi-million, and we're part of that. So I think yes, we failed many times. We failed before. I failed before, but that's how you become better and a better company, better person. And if you're afraid, you may as well die now.
What you can wish to those listeners who are in the beginning of the way for creating their new company or startup, but they have some fears or they have already failed. So having such experience, what you can wish them?
I can tell you that these fears don't go away. I mean, it's not because you have a few success here and there that I'm fearful every day. In fact, that's what drives me. You just need to keep at it. I mean, I think also, you can be incremental on what you do. You don't have to give up everything to build your company. You can just do things on the side, start slowly, and take less risk if that's what you want to do. But fear doesn't go away. It's just that's what drives you. You want to do better, and you want to succeed. You're also running out of time. Okay. If you wait too long to do your thing, you will never do it.
So you still have some fears.
Absolutely.
And what you're afraid of? It's just interesting for me that top manager of such a company with so many people. So what can you be afraid of?
Well, I mean, because you asked me what I was doing with the profit of the company. We reinvest pretty much 90% in other projects, in other company, and obviously what I'm afraid the most is we're creating a lot of jobs for our employee, and I want to make sure that we create more and that they are sustainable. Yeah? How many companies that are outsourcing today, as soon as they lose a project, they fire everybody? That's not what we do. We don't do that. I mean, we want to create long-term opportunity for our guys, and we want them to have a happy life, right? So it's not only about me or about the management team. It's about them and provide long-term opportunities.
Sounds like you're a very responsible person, but also sounds that you're hardworking, like workaholic. All in the United States are workaholics. When do you enjoy your life? It sounds like work, home, work for home. So it's not worth living double life. So what is your life about? Is it only about work?
Yes.
24 hours?
Yes. Yes, but my wife is very understanding. Hi, honey. She's also part of the business, so that helps. But I mean, I work from 5:30 in the morning to 11 at night.
So she works with you?
She works with me, poor thing.
So she can see you at least. That's good for
your wife. Yeah, but no, I think, look, I mean, having a good life is not necessarily only outside of work. I have a good life and a lot of satisfaction, with work. And actually, that's something that I love to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so when I go, Saturday is off for me for personal reason, right? So we don't work on Saturday, but we work every other day and try to devote that time to family and kids. Work is super satisfactory. That's what I love to do.
You see your children that they will follow you in this business, or you see absolutely different future for them?
Oh wow. I don't see my children. I hope they don't have to do the thing I do.
What do you mean?
I want them to have a little bit more comfortable life than I do. It's not about money. It's more about we are working quite a lot. So I hope. I don't know. Maybe my daughter. She'll join me. We'll see. We'll see. I think I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Finally, I found at least one question that you can answer for sure.
Okay.
Okay, and coming back to the financial issues and your topic. So, as of today, can you point out three main sentences, three main things you will be talking about, so our audience would be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about how the IT market has changed over the last 30 years. Outsourcing used to be big business, and it still is in some way, but it has changed radically into a different type of market where engineering team have to provide things beyond services, and essentially it's about having an IBM strategy, right? You sell software, you sell services, and at some time you invest also in ventures if you can.
So this is number one, and number two?
Well, the number. So that's. I've got three topics. Right. The first one is about whether IT services company is still an attractive investment for outside investors. The second one is should you build your product when you're a service company, and it's absolutely. And the third one is about what's the third one about again?
I don't know.
I need to remember my slide. The third one is about the success that big company have into creating startup or creating new business within their own incubation arm. So I'll talk about that and talk about my experience with a company like Ericsson, Rakuten, and so forth.
Those who would like to participate in your incubation program, how can they get in contact with you? Are you easy to contact you?
I'm very easy to contact. Very easy to contact.
I can prove it. Okay, great, thank you. So it was Yann Kronberg in IT Radio with his topic, Success of Foreign Investment Traction by Outsource and Service Companies. So we can wish you good luck, first of all.
Thank you.
And it's really, really pleasure to talk to you. And
my pleasure.
You seem to be the person not only responsible, not only hardworking, but also very charming. And it's very wise because you have settled your wife close to you, so she is satisfied, you're satisfied, you're working, you like your work, so happy life.
Happy life.
Very, very wise person. So
thank you.
This is one of the examples of hero. To be
not
to be
hero,
example
but
for somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And